Hey, what's going on everybody? Mal here. How are you guys doing today? When I talked to you guys about the Galaxy A8 Plus, I told you that Samsung actually sent something else with them for me to test out, which were these. These are the iconX wireless earbuds, and they are really cool. Okay, you know when you talk about wireless earbuds like these, you instantly go to Apple AirPods because they are, the most famous ones. And they are super seamless to use, the actual way to pair them and all that stuff, it's super seamless. And when it comes to Android, there really isn't one, master Android answer to Apple AirPods. But when it comes to the Samsung ecosystem and not the Android ecosystem alone, you get the iconXs. And they are actually really comparable. For example, you get these near a Galaxy phone that has Bluetooth enabled, by the way, and then you press the Bluetooth button on the little case and pop comes a little notification saying, yo, I found some iconXs, do you want to pair? And then you say yes, and done. Then you just, click the button, take them out of the case, which sometimes is a little bit finicky, put them in your ears and you're done. You're listening to music, you're using your phone wirelessly and everything just works. But let's get into price because budget, and from all that I just said, you kind of can expect that these are not going to be cheap. And they're not, because they cost $200. But if you get them with a Galaxy phone, they cost $150. And if you get them on Amazon, they cost $140. So never mind. They cost $140. They're still not cheap, but they're not the most expensive earbuds you're going to find out there. They're actually good. They're not stupidly overpriced. Now, second would be impedance or power or ease of driving them, and they are Bluetooth, so they're obviously easy to drive. One thing that I would mention though is that battery life of these things last quite a while. I charged them once when I got them, one other time like 6 or 7 days after that. And I've used them for a total of 15 days, well, 2 weeks basically. And I used them quite a bit every day within those 2 weeks. Battery never actually died on me. I never actually had to, rush out to charge them or anything like that. But I do have to point out something that's rather ridiculous. It's a USB Type-C connection, which means that you should be able to, charge them with any USB Type-C cable, right? Like, for example, if you have a power bank that comes with a USB Type-C cable, or if you have one of those multiple cable connections things to plug it into your laptop and charge them. But that won't work. They effectively made this USB Type-C port sort of a proprietary way of, connecting and charging them specifically through cables and power bricks that Samsung makes. I'm not kidding. I've tried a bunch of different cables. None of them worked except the one that came with this thing in the box, or the one that came with the Galaxy A8 Plus for that matter. They even say that in the manual. This is needlessly complicated, needlessly restrictive, and it's frankly ridiculous. Honestly, this thing needs to be addressed yesterday. Alright, now third point would be closed or open back design. These would be the equivalent of a closed back design because they do not leak sound at all. The seal that these things create on your ears is really tight. Then there's build and comfort. We need to separate this into kind of three things because there's the buds, there's the case, and there's security. The case itself is really well built. I don't feel like it's flimsy at all. Aside from the hinge on the lid feels a little bit flimsier than I would have liked to see, but it feels like it could, take a little bit of a beating, but not that much of an abuse. So be careful not to keep dropping, or especially don't throw this at anyone or anything. It's probably not going to last very long if you do that. Now, the earbuds themselves, they're all plastic and a little bit of rubber with the ear hooks and the tips for the ear canal. And they feel solid, they feel premium, but they have touch interfaces and the touch panel that helps you actually navigate and use your earbuds and all that stuff. And they have sensors and contact pads, and don't go around dropping them. They're probably not going to last very long if you do. And the other side of that coin is the fact that you can exchange the tips and the ear hooks for different sizes. There are 3 that comes with the earbuds themselves, and they're gonna fit your ears probably really, snugly. They're gonna create a very, very tight seal, with the tips, and the hooks are gonna make them feel super secure on your ears. And that is one very important thing, in my opinion, about these kinds of earpods, because it's not just about feeling comfortable in your ears. They need to feel comfortable and be secure. You can, wobble your head around and go to the gym and hike and bike and jump and fall and do anything without, actually having to live in fear that you're going to lose one of these, because if they fall while you're biking around the city, you're done. You're never going to find them back. And the fact that these stayed super snugly in my ear, it was the most secure I've ever felt any one of these sorts of earbuds feel. And as I told you guys before in a different video, these sorts of tips, they form a seal that's too tight, and they actually get me to feel a little bit of headache after a couple of hours using them. But the security feeling that these brought actually got me using them more than I would have expected, despite the little discomfort. So yeah, when it comes to building comfort, I didn't expect them to be this good. And lastly, they are earbuds, so they need to sound at least somewhat okay. And they do. They do sound okay. They are a little bit bassier than I would have liked. Obviously, they create a very tight seal. And the sound stage is like within your head. Everything is happening, in your head directly. The instrumentation, the separation isn't the best I've ever heard, but it's okay. And speaking of music, they actually have 4 gigs of internal storage, so that you can go to the gym, leave your phone at home, and still be able to enjoy your music with fully wireless earbuds on your ears. And that is actually neat. That was really interesting. I actually used them as, earbuds not connected to my phone while listening to music quite a number of times during the 2 weeks that I've been testing them, because that's actually really cool. And for the overall package, for the seamless integration, for the experience of actually using them, everything put together, they are not the best sounding earbuds ever, but that's actually excusable for this situation. You can get earbuds that sound better than them, but they're either going to be much more expensive, or they're not going to have everything else that this package presents. So yeah, you have choices. And this is actually one that gets a thumbs up from me. It would have gotten 2 if it wasn't for that thing with the charging cable and all that stuff. So for now, just 1. And it does get a recommendation. Especially if you're using a Samsung phone and you were looking for wireless earbuds like these, super recommended. I really like the iconX, and I suspect you will too. But that's it. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave any comments or suggestions down below as usual if you feel like it. Like, subscribe, and all that stuff, and I will talk to you guys in the next one.